Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Daniel. This is Jonathan. Today we are back with Death Note episode 22. Things are getting really interesting now. We have Ram back in the picture. Now Misa's like a pseudo Kira.
Right.
It's like she's not the Kira, she's not a subblend Kira, she's just like a...
She hadn't even touched the death. Well, she has paper, corner.
She's touched the paper but doesn't have access to it.
Right.
To write any names. But she has her Shinigami god with her, who's like a little bodyguard, just do things at her own bidding.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's going on. The question is, what does she divulge that information to Light? Whenever she was Kira, she was careful and calculated, but also a little bit
right.
Especially when it came to Light, she was just like blur things out, loose cannon.
Yep.
Light was like super calculated, but she, so that could slip. Like she can get so excited,
I just don't think she will, just because knowing the fact that L and Light are handcuffed together, which is tough.
Right. Like she won't right now. Right. But even her coming in saying, yes, Light, whatever you say, and L
kind of
a look.
Yeah, he's like.
So already he's starting to suspect.
Yep.
Something's up. But because he can tell when they're just acting different.
Right.
And it's hard to pretend to be what you were before you knew certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just hard, which is why it was super obvious with Light. He's acting totally different. Light's acting, and L could tell that. So L is just extremely perceptive. So like you can know anything extra, and he'll be like something. You feel like you know something.
He's like got this whole theory in the back of his head of what it is or why it is.
Yep. So, but I mean, she had a pretty good plan. Stop the killings and knows who Kira is. How will they act on it? Can they have that? Is that enough to prove it? Does he know that he can relinquish it? Like, is that enough? And then how do they arrest him? There's a lot. I don't really know.
Yep, I agree. I mean, and she has the video evidence, the confession.
On top, she has the confession plus him in the meeting. I feel like that's kind of enough.
Yep.
So, but there's probably something we're missing because we're not L.
True.
Or Light. So we'll figure out what that is. But I'm ready to hop in. Check this out. Before we do, guys, please consider subscribing to our channel. Full length reactions are on our Patreons. Those early access to future episodes. You want to check those out. We're going to hop into episode 22. Oh, here we go. Something he doesn't like something. It's kind of smiling. Maybe he doesn't like that he didn't figure it out.
Killing of criminals stops now, then there's no doubt that Higuchi is the one with Kira's powers. If criminals do stop dying after this, it will make it difficult to determine a critical element, how Kira conducts his murders. We'll have to think of a plan.
He wants to know more.
I managed to convince him that I'm the second Kira. If I didn't say this now, I'd probably end up contradicting my story later.
Right.
I want to find out how he kills people.
If the criminals stop dying, we won't be able to figure it out.
We should be able to track 70% of their movements using our cameras inside the office building. I've only been able to enter the houses of 5 of the men so far. But Mido, Namikawa, and Higuchi all have super high-tech security systems. Especially Higuchi.
Okay.
He recently constructed a dampening room that shuts out any electronic waves.
Then begin installing microphones, trackers, and cameras, but not in the house. Instead, just put them in every car.
If Higuchi had been bugged earlier, I would have been in big trouble.
See, he knows something.
Do you remember killing anyone, I mean?
Dang.
Look, I'm not Kira. How many times do
I just want you to answer the question. Well?
If he says no, that means he did, but he doesn't remember.
What about you? I'd like you to thoroughly analyze my current theory.
Use him to catch him.
Determine the way in which we end up catching Kira.
He's gonna go everything through.
Light Yagami now has no memory of ever being Kira.
He's probably looking at me
it's like
for her.
Self-incriminating.
Kira's power has somehow passed on to another person. Was that because Light Yagami wanted it to happen? Or was there someone else in control of Light?
He's saying this all out loud. These are usually inner thoughts.
Right.
That we hear Light have.
Given your premise, it would be my will.
Sure.
Even if Light Yagami was Kira, Kira's power can only be transferred by the will of the person who possesses it.
Dang.
But he still thinks he's Kira.
I'm going to trick Higuchi using Sakura TV.
Like a hidden camera show.
Like he did Light.
It'll be announced that Kira's identity will be revealed near the end of the special.
We'll get Namikawa to call him and say, "This is bad. Turn on your TV."
Right.
That should be
Smart.
enough to get him watching.
Whoever appears on the show has to be someone who Higuchi believes he'll be able to kill.
Oh man.
In other whose name he can look up easily.
But we're never gonna find a person like that.
Matsuda, you.
You're the only one who can do it.
He's the last one to pick up on things.
We'll witness his killing method. After that, we arrest him.
But they only have his fake
There
name,
is
I guess.
one
Oh,
potential-
the dead god of death will disappear. Okay,
Jealous.
like jealous. But the death note will remain. Okay, the ownership of the death note is usually carried over to the next god of death that touches it. But it is common sense that it is returned to the great god of death.
Which is what they talked about early on in the show. There's a great god of death that has forever and ever, never.
That goes on. Yeah. So then, but in these cases, it passes on to the next one. But and I guess in the two cases we've seen, the death gods ended up having two notebooks.
Right. So they never
To their
use common sense.
Right. Okay. Only by touching each other's death note can human individuals who own the death note in the human world recognize the appearance or voice of each other's god of death. Okay. I think maybe it just reminds us of things.
She didn't. Misa didn't immediately recognize Rem and her voice.
But I guess that just means like sees.
We're all cooperating with these killings because we're afraid of Kira turning on us. I mean, it's only a matter of time until the public finds out. And this isn't going to stop until that happens.
Who do you think Kira might be?
Takahashi or Higuchi?
No, Takahashi is just a decoy. Kira would make sure there are people less clever than him.
It's Higuchi, isn't it?
Yes.
During that first meeting after Hattori died, you got a call on your cell phone. I was wondering who it was from.
You know,
I think catch up on
you
that.
really are a sharp one.
Wow.
Oh, that's him calling. They were testing him.
Maybe.
Before I go on, are you by yourself?
No,
And just act like it's a normal call again.
it's L.
Whoa.
I'll speak for them and say they'll choose to stand back and watch your face-off with Kira.
A few minutes into the program, I want you to contact Higuchi. Tell him to tune in. Do that for me. I won't go after you or any of the other 5.
It seems it really was Higuchi.
Oh, is this already them calling
Yeah.
to change channel?
So you're saying one of those people is Kira, right?
Yes, I've got a lot of evidence to prove it too.
At the beginning of the show, he said that he overheard a meeting between 8 people.
What?
The man who died was Mr. H.
Mr. H. Hattori.
Mr. H wanted to leave the meetings and was killed by Kira because of that.
Could it be? It's him.
He explained earlier that he thought he was going to be killed. He pretended to fall out of the apartment window and escape to a balcony a few floors below.
It's so far going to plan.
I knew I was going to be in danger going into this. This is for the sake of justice, so I'll see it through to the end, even if it means my death.
I have to kill him. Calm down.
Are they all around her? Oh. Or is he calling back?
Mida, it's me. Are you watching Sakura TV? Why don't you call your father in the House of Counselors?
Have him pull some strings at the Ministry of Internal Affairs to stop this broadcast.
I'm watching, but I don't think we could stop it. Since one of us 7 has to be Kira, that should mean Taro Matsui will soon be dead.
Right.
Of course. I'm the only one who knows
Right.
or even suspects that Taro Matsui isn't his real name.
He's their steps ahead of him.
Yeah.
Mogi is in position in front of Yoshida Productions. He's just received a call from Higuchi.
Yes, it's time for phase 2.
I know his face. I could kill him at any time if only I knew his name.
This is going exactly as I planned. It's almost scary.
Right, everything's going so smooth.
Be scared, Light. You should be happy.
That manager's real name isn't Taro Matsui,
He's
is
not
it?
even pretending to hide what
no,
he's
it
asking
wasn't,
about
if
now,
I
is he?
recall.
Stupid Higuchi.
If you want to know that badly, I'll give you the PIN code for the office lock. You can go in yourself and look it up. How's that?
They're going to announce it at the end of the program. That means I have 2 hours.
He's like losing it. And once he gets there, he'll be on video.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him no matter what.
What if he gets in an accident, though?
I knew it. I had a feeling it's about to end. Dang it. Nah, something's gonna happen.
That was so.
That was good though. That was a pretty
was.
smart plan because they couldn't to get cameras in his house. So they had to figure out a way to get him out of his house to the office where they have cameras.
Right.
Dang. So at this point, what could go wrong though? Because it's like they thought of everything, right?
Yeah. Like he said, it's scary because I think, again, the only thing I can think of is he's driving crazy fast. He dies. The death note goes back to its original owner, Misa.
Yes. If it's like sublent out to,
And he's died, yeah.
Just not the memories.
Correct. But at that point, he dies. They don't have a way. They know he's Kita. He's already confessed it, but they won't know the method of it.
They need to see everything. They need to see that he opens a piece of paper or book, starts writing. And I feel like, we're coming up on episode 23. I feel like that's when Elle maybe finds out that it's through a piece of paper.
A notebook.
But what you can't see on camera is him visualizing his face. He just knows that that's something that they have to know what they look like.
And the name, yep.
And the name, right. But then writing it on an actual piece of book. And obviously there's like a ton of little tiny rules with it.
Right.
Man, I feel like because because everyone on the YouTube group, they're all kind of on board with it. Well, 3 of them are there. They're on board. And then the other, I feel like no one's going to try to stop it or go to the office to stop him from doing that. And he's not going to do anything to give away that he's Kira, but he has to write this name down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think what can happen between now and then, besides like a car crash.
That's my guess, my first guess.
Yeah, but I feel like something more clever will in the writing will get him to stop.
Yeah,
but I don't know what it could be.
I mean, he has a gun with him. It's not far fetched to think he goes to Shakuda TV Production Center and starts
to just go in there and stop it the old fashioned way.
Yeah,
but then that really then he gets arrested. That's messy.
Yeah.
Because his dream is to just to marry Misa and to control the Yatsuba group, the company, and then just and be Kira all at the same time.
Right. Which is far fetched for him at the moment, but
he's not that smart. He's falling for all the she sent him the voicemail. He's calling. He's she's out of town, and he's
not catching on to anything.
And he's calling them. He's like, oh, that's right. If I say. Then they'll know it's me.
Which they already do.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. I wanted to keep watching.
I know. That was a crazy. Yeah, these basically from the moment that Rem touched Misa with a little piece of paper, the show got really interesting.
Started moving fast.
Yeah, it started moving really quick. I mean, the show had always moved quick, and then it kind of went to a different angle.
A lot of investigative pieces. Informational.
Yeah, now it's kind of getting back to. Okay, now it's Misa's the one that's trying to somewhat hide knowledge, even from Light so far.
That's another thing that I've been impressed with, the fact that, well, at least we think she hasn't told him anything. He suspects nothing. So
yeah, and it's crazy how even Light is using, or Elle is using Light's intelligence against him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, analyze this, and he told him the situation someone passed it. Someone was Kira, they passed it along. Think about it. Is it someone else some god acting on his own? If so, why am I still alive? Is it just some crazy joke? And the more that Light thought about it and processed it, he was like, okay, if I was Kira, I would plan.
Right. I would be.
To lose it and then get it back. So then he's I agree that is what I would do.
Yeah. And it would be at my will.
Yeah. Yep. Man, Light's too smart for his own good. It's like chasing his own tail.
Yep. I think
that's pretty genius.
I don't think we'll have Light around for much longer, but I could be wrong. I think once Light or Misa have possession of the Death Note, they'll end them.
Oh, you mean Elle won't be around for long? Oh, not Light. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I think
Elle is really smart, but Light is protected by Misa. Because Misa has Rem. Mm-hmm. And Rem cares so much for Misa and knows that Misa cares for Light. So then, therefore, Rem cares for Light.
Right.
Or will protect him. But Elle, not so much. Unless Elle gets his hand on a Death Note.
And I may be wrong. Maybe he's been in the background, but I don't think I've seen the dad.
Oh yeah,
Light's dad.
Yeah,
in these last couple of episodes.
I remember seeing him whenever she came in and said, "I found out who it is."
Okay, so maybe he was there last episode.
Yeah, or whenever they all were kind of talking like, who can it be? And they're like, Matsuba will have to be the
decoy.
The decoy. I think he was standing there too.
Okay. Maybe it's just he hasn't said a word or just no captivating.
That's true. He hasn't said
dialogue.
anything. He hasn't really said much. Yeah. Man, what a genius play. And Light came up with all of that. I mean, he did kind of he did mess up. He was like, "You already know." That was a mess up. Like, oh, even Light can mess up. Yeah, that was kind of I feel like Light wouldn't have done that. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm hooked. I can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm excited.
But that's all we got for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Full interactions are down below, as well as early access to future episodes all over on our Patreon if you want to check those out. But we'll be back in a few days with episode 23. Yes. So until then, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.